This is Saturday Sparks. It is Saturday, July 26th. Man, I can't believe summer is almost over. That is insane. So I am, let's see, let me make sure everybody is here. So today we're going to talk about guarantees and social media strategy. My name is Adam Bauer. I am the CEO and co-founder of the Marketing Clerics. We are a digital marketing agency, and I like to call us we're a growth partner agency. And we're based out of Hastings, Minnesota. We have a full in-house team. We are equipped to serve electricians, others in the trade as well, home services professionals that really want to have a foundational and high authority driving brand and interest that kind of organically compounds over time. And so we are going to talk today about that and what it means to over time and the benefits of having a marketing partner that understands that short-term gains don't help long-term success. And it's stemming from a few questions that I've gotten of the same type from electricians over the past couple of weeks. And that is, what can you guarantee, or what do you guarantee with this investment? And I don't really like that question, because what that question does for me is it puts you in a mindset of demanding and not mistrust first, as opposed to seeing the value and understanding that this is exactly what your business needs to do. And I asked that question before. And so those of you who don't know my history, I have done other business types before, business ventures. And so my first business venture was a computer repair company for kind of a geek squad. And I had a person stop by my shop, and he was selling SEO and online marketing. And at the time, we were pretty new. We were probably about three months into the business. And I asked that question as well. And he came back and said, well, SEO takes time. It's usually about 3 to 6 months before you start seeing those results. And I said, okay, what's it going to cost? He said, well, $1,200 a month. And I said, well, let's give it a try. Got pretty nervous around month 2 when I wasn't really seeing much of the work that was being done. I didn't see any reporting dashboards. I didn't see anything that was indicating that we were succeeding in the work that we were doing. And end of month 3, I actually canceled with him because I didn't see the amount of effort that he was putting in. I didn't see the results that we needed to continue to pay for the investment. So believe me when I tell you I understand your position when you're asking about guarantees and paying for an investment that should get you a good return. And so I'm not here saying you shouldn't track that measure, you shouldn't track that perspective, because you most definitely should. And what I want to say is I kind of reframe it. So there are 2 kind of guarantees that you can have. There's a guarantee that you guarantee things that are outside of your control, and there's a lot of risk there. Or you can guarantee things that are inside of your control, and there's still a little bit of risk there, but you can control it, you can lead, you can steer the ship. And so when it comes to the work that I think either of us do, the trades professionals or online marketing professionals, there are certainly things that are outside of our control. And so when you're out at a home and a homeowner asks if you guarantee that they will never have that drain get clogged again, and you would guarantee that, probably wouldn't guarantee that, because you don't know what that homeowner's doing with that drain. You don't know what's going to happen after you leave that house. And so this applies to electrical as well, right? So you can guarantee certain things, but there are things that are outside of your control. You don't know what they're plugging into outlets, where they're if they're overloading circuits, or if they're maybe having their cousin who knows a little bit about how to plug in an outlet, how to wire an outlet. He's coming over and doing that. And I can't guarantee that they're never going to face that issue again when you leave the room, when you leave the home. And so is very similar to in the online marketing space. So we can't guarantee what is going to happen with the online market in your city, in your municipality. We can't guarantee what Google is going to do with the next update. We can't guarantee what your competitors are going to do with Google Ads that are going to just drive your costs all the way up and drive your results all the way down. Facing that one personally. But what we can guarantee certain, like, they're under control. And so I wanted to just, I want to end on a positive. So I want to start with, we have seen in the industry when it comes to guarantees and specifically with lead gen or revenue guarantees or sales guarantees. And I want to leave you guys with some flags to look out for, because I know personally a number of people that have tens of thousands of dollars on these guarantees with little results to show for it. So let's dive in. The first kind of strategy or tactic that these lead gen companies employ is conditional based guarantees, where the clients hold some responsibility in the results. And so they mitigate the risk of not getting the guarantee fulfilled by adding in very stringent language in the contract around what the client is responsible to meet. So these things could be like, client must follow up within 2 hours of every lead that is provided. The client must use the agency's CRM tool, not their own, so that the agency can track the lead or even manipulate the leads. They must attend every onboarding session, and maybe there's like 1 or 2 a week, and if they don't attend one of them or they miss one of them, then it's like the whole guarantee is off. Client must provide timely feedback to any of the materials or content that is being produced for them. And if they don't provide feedback within 48 business hours, then the guarantee is off. And so those things, that's probably one of the more common tactics, because they're mitigating the risk of things that they can't control. And it really puts you as a client in a tough spot. Second tactic that is often employed is vague definitions of results or leads. So either they guarantee like a high volume of leads, they don't define quality. And so what they do is they run a campaign for email subscribers, and those are cheap campaigns. And so you can run a meta ads campaign for $10 a day and get a ton of email subscribers without much effort at all. But the quality of those leads are not going to be there. Or they end up purchasing lead lists that were scraped by a third party that aren't actually in your business. They're not interested in being a part of your business, and then you end up cold calling and cold emailing and that kind of stuff. So that is number 2, vague definitions of results. The third one is recycled leads. And so it's more common in like the B2B space, business to business. So if you are in the commercial industry or vertical, then sometimes third-party providers, they'll scrape the from LinkedIn, from other like Lead 411, other platforms that have basic information about business, like decision makers. And they'll end up using those that and giving that to you. But they don't just give it to you. They have it and they give it to the next commercial electrician they work with. And so you're not getting unique leads. You're not getting leads that are warm, that are interested in your business. You are just basically getting like a list of contacts. And that's pretty easy to get nowadays. The tactic that we've seen is inflating numbers with bots or fake data. And so there's a guarantee for like number of traffic or getting a number of people to sign up for your newsletter or that kind of stuff. Sometimes they will use like local ad networks to spam out your landing page and drive basically useless traffic to that, fake signups, and to inflate the numbers on the dashboard and the report for the number of leads that you're getting. The fifth tactic that we've seen, and this one is more and more common, and that's overpromising with unrealistic expectations. These are unicorn, right? So making promises that are outside of the agency's control in order to lure in a client that is desperate. And so promises like you'll see 100% ROI within 30 days, or we guarantee you'll have 500,000 in new sales in 90 days. And then when they don't meet that promise, they end up deflecting. It just deflects the blame back to the client and saying, hey, your process is broken. We got to work on your sales process. Or you didn't really follow up with this lead, and you really didn't an effort to that lead that we sent you. The problem with this strategy is really you're misleading clients with unicorn promises and high results that aren't typical. And I've seen this one personally with a few things. There was one that it was like I make $4,000 a week with a single ChatGPT prompt. Subscribe to find that prompt or to get that prompt, and you'll do that too. It was like is making this very, very, so be cautious about this. It's actually one of the things that is taught to some marketing agencies and in these best practice groups is like, this is how you get people to sign up, get people to get on the phone call and that kind of stuff. And it was actually one of the things that I tried for a little while. And primarily it was in the low voltage space because it's B2B and know that there's a lot of value there and project sizes are larger and I pretty much get those. But I didn't have a frame on it. I didn't try to do a time frame on it. And the second I started actually thinking about it and I'm like, well, there's so many variables involved in this guarantee or this promise that I can't, in good conscience, make this promise and this guarantee. And so I took it down within a week because it's just something that we have done. And even if we had done it for one client, I'm not going to say I'm going to do it for every single client because that's not expectations. All right. So far we've had 5. So the first one is conditional based on client responsibilities. Second one is vague definition of results or leads. Third is recycled leads. Fourth is inflating numbers on the reports with fake traffic. And the fifth was overpromising with unrealistic expectations. The sixth tactic, and this is more of a downfall to this kind of promise or guarantee, is that they often have short-term focus. And so they do everything possible to meet the minimum guarantee that they promised you without investing in long-term quality that's going to compound over time. This is when you hear stories of people that they spend $30,000 to get 1,000 high-qualified leads within 30 days, and then they end up messed up or screwed over because they didn't have the foundational authority or the website or the social media to actually close the deal. Because that tactic may have worked 5 years ago, 10 years ago when you didn't have social media, where you didn't have a huge need for a website. But now people are doing their research. They're looking you up in more than just your website, in more than just the phone book. They're looking you up on social media. They're looking you up on all these different platforms on AI. And if they don't find a good reason or good enough reason to do business with you, they're going to move on. And so those tactics may have worked 10 years ago, but in order to make those tactics work today, you need to have that high authority, that high quality content out there first. And that's the long-term focus. And what that is, once you have that high quality foundation, that website, that consistent social media presence, all of that stuff, that compounds over time. That stuff doesn't go away. And so once you have that in place, you don't need to go to tactics like this because you have the foundation you need to continue to get good, high quality leads. And then the last kind of tactic is misleading lead qualification. So they don't really understand as an agency what a qualified lead for your business looks like. And typically they tend to make the decision for you. So they're like, okay, this came in from the source and it looks like converted. So I'm gonna mark that as a qualified lead. Okay, well, is that right? And so then they kind of into the guarantee. So, yeah, the kind of that I went over. I'll leave you with red flags to watch out for in this case. So, red flags to watch out for when looking at a lead gen guarantee agency. Number one, lack of transparency when asking about lead sourcing and qualification processes. So if you ask them, how are you sourcing these leads or how are you qualifying them for business? If they don't have an answer, then it's flag. Second flag is overly aggressive sales pitches with unrealistic promises. And this one is too difficult to recognize, but it's also very emotional. And so sales pitches are being, salesmen or salespeople are being taught to use emotion in their conversations, in their sales promises and all that kind of stuff. And so if they're promising something that you have never heard being accomplished, that's a red flag. Number 3 for red flags is contracts with excessive conditions or vague terms. So before you sign in anything, ask them to do the contract. And if you look at the contract and it's got like a lot of conditions around it, or terminology is vague, or there's loophole in it. And the nice thing about AI and that kind of stuff is you can take that contract and ask ChatGPT for any loopholes or any specific conditions that put the blame or put the emphasis on the client and their need to fulfill on things in order for the guarantee to take effect. And number 4 is poor communication or evasiveness when asked about results. And so this is unfortunately after you've signed up with them. And if you start noticing they don't communicate well with you, or if you are asking them about the results and they kind of evade you. I think this was a conversation I had 2 weeks ago with someone who every time I would ask about results, they would call and ask about results. They had to leave a voicemail, and then they got a text message within like 5 or 10 minutes of that voicemail asking to schedule a call 2 to 3 weeks out. And that is just it's a big red flag. So 4 red flags to watch out for: lack of transparency when asking about lead sourcing and qualification processes. 2, overly aggressive sales pitches with unrealistic promises. You're going to get $500,000 in 90 days. 3, contracts with excessive conditions or vague terms. Don't have the onus be on you as the client. The agency should own the results. Number 4, poor communication or evasiveness when questioned about results. Your agency partner should be communicating with you on a regular basis. We communicate with our clients weekly. We have a monthly performance call. And when people ask about results, we audit their account. We give them a full picture view of what we've been doing and what we are seeing from results standpoint and where we can improve. And then we implement those improvements. And so we don't evade, we communicate, and all that kind of stuff. And so leaving on a high note, things that guarantee can work, or where a guarantee can work, and this is similar in the trades world, is we guarantee craftsmanship or workmanship. And so we're able to guarantee that every piece that we write for you will be within your brand voice. We're not going to take and copy content from other clients and put it and give it to you. We guarantee that every graphic that we put together will be in your brand image. So we will use your images that you provide. We will use your colors, your fonts, and that's the guarantee. That we will deliver a certain amount of blog articles per month. Okay? It's obvious. We will guarantee that we deliver a certain amount of social media posts per month. Okay? We will track everything that we do and provide complete transparency into reporting. And so we have work logs of everything we do, and we have dashboards and reporting and tracking mechanisms on everything that we put out, and we'll provide you with all of that. So we're actually doing work for you and not just ghosting you and charging your card. And so, but those are things that are within our control. There is no guarantee in there that we're going to get you X amount of leads per month. There's no guarantee in there that we're going to get you to the first page of Google within 30 days. There's no guarantee in there that things are not things that we can control. And some like that. Some prospects don't like that. And that's so we don't want to work with those kind of people. We'd rather work with someone who wants to partner and walk alongside with us and help drive that content, drive that strategy. All right, so that is the first topic of this Saturday Sparks session, is what are your guarantee frameworks. And so we talked about how there are two types of guarantees. There's a guarantee of things that are in your control, and there's a guarantee of things that are outside of your control. And we talked about tactics of certain agencies in the world out there that provide guarantees that are outside of their control, and certain ways that they manipulate the contract or the agreement or the overall strategy to their benefit, so that they have more control over it. And so they have conditional based on client responsibilities being met, making sure that you're following up. If you don't follow up on the lead in time, or if you don't use their CRM, then the guarantee or if they guarantee a high volume of leads but don't define the quality of the lead, they can get you a bunch of email subscribers, or they can get you a purchase lead list. They might recycle leads, so they might use a third-party scraping tool to gather business-to-business leads that have no real interest in your business. They might inflate numbers with bots or fake data. So they might drive useless traffic to your landing pages. They might use low-quality ad networks to be able to get you fake signups and fake form submissions. They overpromise with unrealistic expectations, so making bold promises that are outside of their control just to lure in the client to get them to sign on. So like promises that you'll get $500,000 of sales in the next 90 days. And then when they don't meet that, they deflect the blame back to the client saying, well, your sales process doesn't work. Or I got you the leads, but you didn't close on them. The problem with this one is that it's all, like with AI, prevalent in getting in clients with high results that are very unicorn. So an agency may have gotten one client $500,000 in sales in 90 days, and now he's turning around and promising that every client that signs on with them is going to be able to get that result. That's not the case. That's not how marketing works. I have short-term focus. So these agencies, they do everything within the first 90 days to meet the minimum guarantee, but then they don't look at the long-term quality that will compound and get you more in the long term than you could in the short term. And then finally, misleading lead qualifications. So they don't really understand what a qualified lead is, and they end up qualifying leads that don't make sense for your business. And then I left you with 4 red flags to watch for with these kind of agencies. Lack of transparency when asking about lead sourcing and qualification processes. Overly aggressive sales pitches with unrealistic promises that drive on emotion. Contracts that have excessive conditions and vague terms. Take that contract, throw it into ChatGPT, ask for what your responsibilities are as the client, ask for any loopholes that the agency might have to get out of the guarantee, etc. And then 4 is poor communication or evasiveness when you're asking the agency about results. And I ended with the guarantees that we make. So we guarantee that every piece that we write for you will be in your brand voice. We guarantee that every graphic that we put together for you will be in your brand image. We guarantee that we will deliver a certain amount of blog posts per month. We also guarantee that we'll deliver a certain amount of social media posts per month. And finally, we will guarantee that we track everything that we do, and we provide complete transparency into the reporting and the work. So that's the stuff half in really almost 30 minutes exactly. So that's great. The next half of the Saturday Sparks session, I wanted to touch on some that I've gotten recently, or what kind of content should I be posting on social media for my trades business. And so I wanted to touch on that in the second part of here. And one of the, so I'm going to basically go through, how many I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different content items that you can post out on your social media account, social profile. This is, jump into that, this is for your business page, but it also can apply to your personal page. And so what you'll see with things like Facebook is your business page might not get a ton of traction, but your personal page gets a lot better traction. And so if you haven't set up your personal account as a digital creator or professional account yet, enable professional mode, create a digital creator account. That will help you drive more followers, get more people engaged in your personal brand, and it'll in turn lead more people towards your business as well. So what are some of the things that you should be posting? One idea that I have is, it's actually one that I've been seeing. I think Bailey's been posting it, is what's wrong with this content? What's wrong with this? And so it's either an image or a video. It is, you're on at someone's home and there's an issue that you're trying to troubleshoot, and you take a picture of the error or the issue and you post on your Facebook page, like, what's wrong with this picture? And you have people to in the comments. And so this type of content that gets attention, it also educates, it also creates that demand that you doing kind of stuff. And so the person that I think that's doing this is doing it every Wednesday. So it's like Wednesday. And it's been cool to see. I've been trying to hone up my electrical contracting knowledge and skills so that I can answer those questions, answer that every week. Secondly, micro case studies. So a case study is really just a story about how you've been able to deliver results for a customer of yours, how you're able to show them that you're an expert in your field. And this is, if you don't like bragging, this is hard. I don't like bragging either. And so you don't see a lot of these kind of posts from me, not because we don't get results, but just because I don't like bragging about it. Because the results they can be entirely attributed to the work that we're doing. And so I don't want to post on something that isn't entirely our responsibility. Anyway, so you can do here, if you don't like bragging, is you can take your company values. And by the way, if you don't have company values, you should have them. So I might do a whole Saturday Sparks on company values, because culture is super important, especially in the trades world, when you are constantly being like bombarded and labor and that kind of stuff. And so, micro case study, you could share a short story about how you or one of your company lived out of their values on a recent job. And so just an example of this isn't a real story, it's a fake story. So like, hey, we came into this home, the homeowner was on a fixed income. The electrician that came in, they bidded saying that she needed a whole home rewire for $35,000. Our team came in, took a second look, and really took the time to diagnose what the actual problem was and got it fixed for her for under $3,000. And so this is kind of maybe around a value of what's right, or not overselling, or giving the customer exactly what they need, nothing more, nothing less. And so doing that and sharing that type of story is helpful. Third, one that I have not tried before, I'm going to try this one after this call, but I'm going to call it the QR code tactic. So it's all driven on intrigue. So take a picture of a QR code that you've created, post it with a caption that drives visitors or followers to scan it, or to want to scan it. And when you scan the QR code, it goes to a page on your site that talks about who you are and what you do. Maybe it's on your site that leads to interactive around what people need to know about when it comes to replacing electrical panel or something. Don't know exactly what it is, just put it out there. and just see how many people scan it. Fourth is quick tip videos. So record 30 to 60 second clips on your phone, answering just quick questions like why this GFCI trip, or what do you need to know, or when you need to know need a panel or a service upgrade. So that kind of stuff. That was a really botched question. The electrician company does this really well right now, and that's Austin and Matthews Lighting out in Rome, Georgia. They post not only quick tip videos, but they also post other types of video content. And so Austin's up there. He light bulb, and I still remember that video. Smashed a light bulb with a skid loader bucket, and talked all about LEDs and kind of stuff for about 45 to 60 seconds. So it was good. The type of post or content is posting about your company values. So this is kind of like any case study, but posting about and kind of your team on how someone on your in the field lived out one of your core values, and tell a little bit of story about it with a picture of that team member. Matthews Lighting likes to do this with interview style posts and videos about their values, and kind of it works really well. Next type of content is simple guide posts. So like guiding customers on things that people aren't aren't answering. So like before you hire an electrician, before you hire a plumber, do these things. Or what to look out for when you're hiring an HVAC tech. Things that people aren't aware of, that people aren't being shown and taught. And those can be like an image. It could be just a text-based image, that kind of stuff. Next, capturing and sharing video testimonials. And so I want to preface this, don't this. We're not talking about studio quality testimonial videos where you set up all the lighting and all the microphones and the cameras and all that kind of stuff, and you're in a noise-proof area. No. What I'm talking about is if you're on a job and the job went really well, the install or the service job went really well, the homeowner was really engaged throughout the process, they were friendly and happy and that kind of stuff, ask that homeowner if you can record them answering a quick question within a 30-second video clip on your phone. So just ask, like start the recording and ask them how they thought the service call went. Ask them what out to them when the tech came and did this project for them. And just don't make it super complicated. Don't super intimidating. And hey, like we're trying to grow this thing, and your testimonial will help other homeowners find and trust us for their services. And so we'd love it if you would do this for us. And you can even like offer if you want, like if you feel it out and say, hey, like, but careful with incentives, because if you do offer incentive for a video testimonial, legally you do have to put in fine print that this testimonial was paid for. So just be careful for that. And then lastly, with the week. So win from the week. Capturing one project or service from the week. Make sure you're asking the customer if you can do this, but post photos, maybe a story, and tag that customer in that post and have them share it, have them comment on it, and that kind of stuff. So what are some things I should be posting on social media? An inquisitive what's wrong with this photo gets attention, educates, and creates demand. Micro case study, sharing a short story about how you or someone on your team lived out your company values on a recent job. QR code, just post a blank QR code with a caption of scan now. See how many people scan. Have that QR code land on a page that talks more about your business and who you are and how you serve, or something else entirely. Quick tip videos, record 30 to 60 second clips just from your phone, answering quick questions like why did this GFCI trip? When to know when you need a panel or service upgrade. Company values posts, highlight your company core values. People want to work with tradesmen that value, that understand that it's not just profit. Simple guiding posts, so posting guides about things you need to do before you hire an electrician, or what to look out for when you're hiring a plumber. capturing and posting video testimonials, keeping it simple, asking a positive experience homeowner if you can record a 30-second clip on your phone, and ask them the question of how they thought the service call went. Win from the week. Capture one project or service from the week. Ask the customer if you're able to post that photo or story on social media and tag them in it. And ask them to comment and share that with their friends and family. So those are some things that you could post on social media. So that is a wrap for this Saturday Sparks Live. If there are any questions after the fact, please feel free to post a comment. If you're coming in here a little late, rewind. I talked about guarantees from marketing agencies and what to expect, what to look out for. And I talked about social media strategy for trades professionals. So take a look at those two topics, and I'll be posting the recording here, and we'll share the recording out on podcasts everywhere. And I will also be slicing this up and sharing it out in shorts as well, short videos. So otherwise, everyone have a great weekend, and it is almost the end of summer, so go out and enjoy the sunshine with your family, with your friends, and stay safe, I guess.